Hello and welcome back to another Chateau de Bruges video. Again, we're thrilled that you're enjoying our videos so much and we're really enjoying reading through all the comments that you're sharing with us as well. So thank you for that. We've had a couple of suggestions from people for us to put our floor plans online somewhere for you to be able to access so that you can then share some ideas and thoughts of your own while seeing the measurements of the room as well. So we'll get around to that and then we'll let you know when we've shared that online for you all to access. Thank you for all your comments last week about the windows on that second floor. Upon reflection and after reading your comments, we can see now that the windows isn't the best idea in that second floor. So we will be rethinking that and possibly even implementing some of your ideas that you shared with us as well. So we have another question for you this week, and it's one that is about beds in the chateau. Now the question is, if you were to come and stay at Chateau de Bruges, would you prefer to sleep in a smaller double-sized bed that is of a very traditional chateau feel, or would you prefer to stay in a larger king-size bed that may not be traditionally chateau in its style? So let us know what you think about the beds, and again, we'll go on popular demand as to what we intend to put in the chateau. Okay, so you may have noticed already that we've got a couple of special guests with us today. It's my granddad and grandma that are here for us for the next 5 or so weeks. So you'll see them in the next few videos. We're thrilled to have them here, helping us with the renovations and giving them a really nice holiday while they're here as well. And of course, by popular demand, thank you for all of your votes in the previous video. Today, we are going to show you the hidden spaces that we have here to offer at Chateau de Bruges. Right, are we ready to go?
Let's go.
Well then, let's go.
One of the entrances to the caves which run under the whole entire footprint of the chateau. So let's go in, take a look. So here we are in the boiler room. We call it the boiler room because it's got the boiler in it. Seemed like a good idea. And this is typically what you're going to see throughout the caves. You've got a nice space, got concrete floors underneath some rubble and dirt at the moment, so we plan to clean these up and again find a use for them, maybe a games room or a bar or something down here. Again, if you've got any ideas or any comments, we'd be happy to hear them and to consider them. Come through and see some other features through here. So the door here goes through to the bottom of the circular turret staircase that you saw on the previous videos. And we've also inherited, in this corner of this part of the cave, a walk-in fridge, which I can only assume was used to hang the game which was caught around the grounds. There's some meat hooks and bits and pieces in here. Haven't managed to get it up and running yet, but hopefully in some point we'll find the switches for that and we'll be able to get the walk-in fridge working. Okay, so from the boiler room here, we've got another room which goes through, so come along, take a look in that. Currently used as a storeroom. Again, we haven't done anything with these rooms. This is just exactly how we found them, but we found all the pool bits of equipment, paraphernalia was in here. Loads of cardboard boxes have been left around, which would have been nice if they'd taken with them, but that's fine, we can deal with that. And a nice little nook in the corner here, which is underneath the turret, so the bottom of the turret, which I shouldn't call it a turret, it's actually a tower, because apparently one of our great viewers emailed us to say that we don't have turrets, we have towers, because turrets only exist on ships and are not connected to the floor. So we didn't know that. Thank you for that information and we'll take that on board. So this is the bottom of the tower. Must have just been a storeroom or something. You can see some sort of bench and shelves and stuff in there. But again, it's going to be a lovely wine store or meat store or some kind of store. So again, any other ideas, please let us know. Let's go and take a look at some of the other spaces. Just off to the right of the door where we came into the caves, we're going to head down, and it's all like a bit of a rabbit warren, but you wanted to see it, so let's go and take a look. So again, quite a bit of work to be done, but we turn off to our left and we come into two other rooms similar to the size of the boiler room and the games room that we were talking about. This one was obviously the wine store, because you can see as Jake spins around, you'll see that we've got some old wine racks which have been left for us, and plenty of empty, unfortunately empty, wine bottles. So my plan is to get this renovated and get this restocked with wine. If I can buy more than I'm drinking, that will be good. But yeah, this is going to be a nice wine store. There's another room just off of here, which is, you can see what the original floors were like, because this one's a little bit more exposed. You can see all the cobblestones or you know, rocks and stuff that was used for the floor. And yet over here, more empty wine bottles. So Danielle's going to make something very arty out of these bottles. Maybe copy our friends Peter and Edith and have a wine Christmas tree, which I'm sure they'll be pleased about. So yeah, another good space. Again, no great plans for this at the moment, and certainly not high on our priorities, but again, happy to hear your comments as to what we could have down here. The next area we're going to go into are smaller areas, more rabbit warren areas, but good spaces to see, so let's go and have a look. So these areas really are untouched and unloved at the moment, and you can see parts of the walls have crumbled and there's not much of the floor, but we snake our way around and eventually come to a dead end area, which looks almost underneath the steps of the that go up to the main entrance, which I hadn't noticed before. So another good, I guess, storage area. And we'll go back out through the way we came. Just heading back on ourselves to the other side of the chateau. Slightly brighter on this side, but again, becomes quite narrow in places. We've got a lovely old door there that we've been left. No, it is actually attached. It is a door for this. Yeah. It's a door for this opening. Oh, Christ! Oh, Christ! Oh, Christ! Scared the life out of me.
It's a big bat.
So a nice lighter area in here, more open with the openings where the windows used to be, but at least this will be a brighter area. We can see the bottom of the turret, tower, beg your pardon, bottom of the tower coming down, which looks like it's been repointed and looked after quite well, so that's good news. And we'll head through here. It's quite an interesting feature in here, which you guys you knowledgeable guys out there and historians will be able to maybe give us an insight as to what you think this might be. It's looks like storage underneath, maybe for logs, and then on here a big bed, which looks like it might have, I don't know if that's ash or mud, and some windows that go through to the other room there. So I don't know whether that would have been some sort of wood storage area, maybe. Don't know. You guys tell me. You'll know better than me. Let's go through again. Mind your head on the new drainage systems that have been put in. And we have a nice store of logs here. And if Jake can just see with the camera through there, you can see an old boiler system, wood burning boiler system, which is not going to be functional this day and age, but it's nice to be able to see it there. And then finally you come to the end of the tunnels with a nice long space, which again I guess must have just been used for storage. Got some hangers and bits and pieces on the wall there. Just peeking through there because there's yet another consumer unit through there which I wasn't even aware of, so that's something to note for the future. Yeah, that is our caves.
Okay, so one of the first hidden spaces that I'm going to show you is the top of the circle tower, not turret, and this is the one at the top of the staircase. Now when we go up, it only goes into the top of that tower, you can't get to any other part. So again, it's a little bit dark, there's no lighting up here, and the previous owners also put a wooden cover on top, obviously to stop the drafts coming down, so you'll have to duck on your way through. But here we are, this is the circle tower, and if you have a look up, you can see that quite a lot of the woodwork has seen some rot and it's started decaying quite a lot. So this will need some sort of attention before we are to use this as any sort of space. Again, we don't really have any ideas of what we could use this for, so if you have any cool ideas, then please let us know. Okay, so we're now going to go to the main attic space, which we're going to get to via the second floor corridor. Okay, so I'm going to pass this little bit over to Grandad, who's going to show you up into the attic. He's super excited to show you up here, but he's new to the camera work, so bear with him. You ready to go?
Yeah, lovely, thanks Jake. Right, as you all probably know, back in the 1800s when this place was built, I had a servants' quarter. The servants then would service the main building and the main members of the house, but they were never allowed, obviously, to be seen by any of the people in the house. They had to be separate, so they had their own stairway up to here, which is a bit sticky. They had their own stairway up to here, and all the tradesmen that serviced the building itself were never allowed in the main building. Their entrance was through the servants' stairs up to here. And the most exciting bit of it all is that if anybody's working on the roof, doing any work tiling or doing any structural work in the roof itself, woodwork or whatever, they were never allowed past this point, their way up into the loft, which is the most exciting bit of all, the stairs up into the loft. Now can you imagine carrying all your tools that you needed to work on the roof, tiles and everything, up these stairs, and then you've got that flight of stairs to go up to get into the loft. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. How they managed, we don't know.
Should we go and have a look then?
Yeah, great, let's go and have a look.
Right, after you. Yeah. Well, that was very professionally done, I hope you agree.
Good.
1600s, by the way.
1600, I'll say 18.
Yeah, that's alright. No one knows this. Right, you'll have to mind all the cobwebs when you come up, Danielle.
That's fun.
Okay, so we're up into the attic space just at the top of the stairs. As you can see, like the second floor, there are loads of natural beams flying around, and I'm sure you'll remember the beams that are coming through the ceiling on floor 2. Any kind of vertical beams that you see in this attic space are those beams that come down and hang out of the ceiling. You'll probably also notice that we've got these areas on the roof that seem to be left by the boards and then kind of re-wooded and then tiled over. Now when we had some guests here last time, Danielle's parents, they mentioned that they might have been old windows and old spaces that the workers may have been able to get out and onto the roof on, and we now think that they've been blocked up and re-tiled over. Again, if you know better, then please let us know. Do you want to go and have a look at the rest of it?
Yeah,
Grandad?
let's go through.
I'll let you talk about the next one.
Yeah. Right, this is the second section of the roof space. As you can see, it's the main structure of the house, really. It's exactly the same. They've put jack rafters up on the roof, and then they've put these structures up. This is a 9x2, and that 9x7 that runs all the way around the loft itself. Amazing. Can you imagine putting that up, lifting it in there without any cranes or anything? Amazing. Right.
Yeah, you may also see that some of the beams have been eaten by something at some point. But we were told by the previous owners that all of the beams up in the attic have been sprayed for pests, and I'm hoping, as you can see now, as you rub it, because there's no dust that is then coming off that is fresh, it should therefore indicate that there's not any new termites that are currently in the beams.
Good.
Carry on round. Obviously we're following the L of the chateau at the moment, so we'll come round to the right hand side here. And we'll keep working our way around. Like I was saying a little bit earlier, I think these would have been the things that were blocking up those spaces in the roof, and that would have obviously been some sort of window or some sort of entrance to the roof at some point. But there are lots of them around, and I'll make sure I'm showing you them. Going on through. Would like this bit, Grandad?
Oh, right, okay. We've come to a lot of interesting looking tiles at all different shapes. They must have been obviously for fanning the edges or whatever. It's structurally all the same again. The 9x7s run all the way through superbly, and as far as you can go, it's basically a magical structure with timbers that you can never imagine that they can actually get up in these days. Wonderful.
Yeah, I think if we come back to these as well, Grandad, I don't know if you noticed or not, but these are all wood.
Oh right, that's right.
Yeah, they're not tiles like we have on the roofs nowadays. So
Yeah.
I think they're probably very old, probably even the original tiles and slats that would have been on the roof.
Taken down and tiles put in their place. That's
Yeah.
a shame.
I think anyone that's really keen-eyed as well will also notice that this shape is the shape that is on all of our tower roofs,
Right. Yeah.
rather than on the main chateau roof. So we
Yes.
think that these tiles would have come off one of the towers before now.
So many hours into that role.
Yeah. Right, let's carry on because we're going to go through and down into that last space, which is the square tower, and that is where is currently being used as the main entrance up onto the roof now. So you have to squeeze through the beams again, and again, and might not even need the light in this space.
Ah, right. And this would be,
So again, a huge space, loads of beautiful beams flowing around the room, and again, a really old looking ladder. Doesn't look too secure, doesn't look too safe, but that leads you up to that window up there, Grandad.
Yeah, right.
Which I can assume is the only way to get up onto the roof now.
We go back to our tradesman who's just managed to knock on the back door of the kitchen and got access into the building through the kitchen, and then had to make his way with all his tools up the staircase, the servants' staircase, not the main staircase, and then climb that vertical ladder up into the loft itself. And now he's faced with the prospect of climbing up this ladder to get out on the roof. Can you imagine that? Can you really imagine that?
Just to give you an idea of size as well, that looks no bigger than a big dog flap. That is the attic space. Again, another superb hidden space. We haven't got any plans for these rooms yet, and they're definitely going to be a long way off before we start renovating any of these spaces. But again, we'd love to hear your ideas about what you guys would do with these spaces, and it gives us some nice ideas that we can do in the future as well. All right.
Yeah,
Ready to see
fine.
the next bit?
Yep, that's onwards, onwards.
Let's go. We've got to go all the way back down again now. Okay, so I'm stood outside now, one of 3 Pigeonnieres. They're all structurally sound, but they're all offering different things in terms of their layouts. We are open to ideas about what we can do with these spaces, but again, they may be quite a long way off in terms of seeing any sort of restoration. I'll just pass you over to Dad, who's going to show you into our last hidden space that's just the other side of this Pigeonniere.
Okay, so we're in the last hidden space now. The reason I wanted to show you this because running along the length of the floor of this area here, we have the original wash stone where the maids would have come out. There would have been a stream running through here, and the maids would have come out, beaten the clothes against this stone here, and washed and done the laundry. On that side of it, we believe, or we've been told, that was probably used as a kennel for the hunting dogs. Maybe later on, maybe at the same time, don't know. Again, historians, please let us know. But this was quite a nice find to come and see this, and got a bit of history about it. So we will restore this. We need to put the roof back on. We need to do some work. There's some interesting bits and pieces up the top end there, a cart and bits and pieces that I can see, and some old gates and stuff. So a great space again that we want to make use of, but not high on the priorities. So one of the things that we think we might use this space for is for a chicken coop. We're quite keen to have some chickens so guests can have freshly laid eggs in the morning. We're going to have a vegetable patch just outside of this as well, so this would be quite a nice area maybe to keep some chickens and let them roam around in this quite large space. So any other ideas, please let us know. So that's the last of our hidden spaces, so let's head back out to the front of the chateau and we'll say our goodbyes.
Okay, so thanks once again for tuning in and watching our Chateau de Bruges video. We've really enjoyed showing you around the hidden spaces. Don't forget to let us know about the beds and what you would prefer when staying at Chateau de Bruges. The next video that we're going to show you next week will be of the outbuildings that we have to offer at Chateau de Bruges. Not only that, but I've recently picked up a drone, so hopefully I'll have some nice aerial shots of the chateau to show you as well. Anything that I've missed, guys?
Don't forget to subscribe, like and click the notification button.
Yeah, they've had good practice, haven't they? Right, we'll see you soon. Bye.